Welcome, everyone. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations. And always record the police, because from those recordings, they shall hold the light of transparency to the egregious criminal acts they do to us, we the people, every single day. And with those recordings, we can hold them accountable and create police reform once and for all. Today's story is out of Aurora, Colorado, featuring the egregiously infamous Aurora Police Department in Aurora, Colorado. They came at a young mother, 24-year-old mother, with guns drawn while her 3-year-old is sleeping in the car because someone made a clerical error that her car was stolen. Let's get right into the video here.
A 24-year-old mother is held at gunpoint by Aurora police while her child was asleep in the back of her car. And then minutes later, she was released with an apology from officers for mistakenly detaining her. Denver 7's Bayan Wang joins us in the studio tonight. This happened a couple of weeks ago, but Bayan, the woman says she's just now ready to talk about it.
That's right, Shannon.
Pause there. Look at what they've done to that young mother. It turns out it was a clerical error. Look at that. You think we live in a free country when police can do that, get away with it, and we made a mistake, but it's very rare. Sorry. We were 1/8 inch of a trigger pull from unaliving your 3-year-old child and yourself for a clerical error. Sorry.
And it was very hard for her to talk about it. It was obvious that she was still very shaken up by the whole encounter with Aurora police officers. And she says she's just traumatized and embarrassed following her first ever traffic stop.
Put the guns away, guys. No need for that. There's a child in that car.
A father recording from a distance as officers approach his wife with guns drawn, his 3-year-old child in the backseat sleeping.
I am so freaking pissed off at this. We're not seeing body cam footage. We're seeing a father who's recording the police. Always record them, even if you think nothing's going to happen. Because so many times it does. And then, whoops, you weren't recording. It's too late. You missed an opportunity to hold them accountable. A young mother. Looks like they have 3 cops with their guns drawn. At least 3 police officers with their guns drawn. Fingers most likely on the trigger. This is so wrong. We live in a free country? No, we don't. That's why we have to take it back. Creating police reform, demanding police reform from our political people.
Hands on. 24-year-old Ana Castanada was pulled over on Colfax and Galena in Aurora, thinking it was going to be a routine traffic stop.
She's not taken off, which is interesting.
Police believe the car is stolen.
So she may not know it's stolen. But how are we going to approach it?
High-risk stop still.
And that means guns drawn immediately, according to APD.
Driver, roll down your window! Take the keys out of the ignition and put them on your hood!
Castanada in shock, fearing something might go wrong.
I was scared for my life, my kids' life. They had all their guns drawn out at me. They handcuffed me. They put their knee on my back, which is kind of painful, so I can...
They put their knee on her back as well. And for all of you apologists that say, it's a high-risk stop. There are way too many of these mistakes. And there are people who has had their life ended because of the way police handle all of this stuff. It is wrong. And no one's been held accountable as far as I've found out in my research so far. No cop has been held accountable for this.
See people's perspective of why they don't like that situation.
And it's a situation Castanada was confused about the whole time.
In my head, I was like, I know I didn't do anything wrong. It has to be a mistake on their part. This is crazy. I was scared. I was like, I better just do as I'm told.
Castanada explained she just picked up the car from the dealership because it had been repossessed. Officers verified.
That vehicle is definitely not stolen. We haven't had anything stolen for a few months.
Okay. Officers would release Castanada, but how could there have been such a mix-up?
They confirmed that she had just picked it up. That's when they contacted our records unit, who actually found the clerical mistake where they actually check-marked the wrong box from repossessed to stolen.
And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen.
in our daily jobs that we go to, that for most people, if we make a mistake, no one dies or no one gets close to dying. And of course, we care about doing a great job in the work we do. The cops are on an entire different level. If they make a mistake, people die. But they are in a profession. Actually, I'm not going to call it a profession. That raises the perception of it. They are in a job that literally holds life and death over us, given the authority of the state to get us to do anything they demand in the moment, and they can use any force necessary up and including deadly force. You think they would be more careful? But because of qualified immunity, because of internal investigations, and because of police unions, there is almost no accountability. As Brian from Here's the Deal often says, absolute power corrupts absolutely. The only way to change the culture of this is not by talking to the police, saying, you got to be better. You need better training. It is systematically a cancerous culture, an authoritarianism culture. Four things, get rid of and change everything here. Number one, get rid of qualified immunity. Number two, external investigations for every use of force incident, every complaint. Number three, get rid of police unions. And number four, all police officers have to wear body cams that have no button to mute the audio or turn the video off. And number five, all body cam footage must be released unredacted, unedited within 12 hours of request / demand from us, we the people. That's how we're going to change things. Continuing.
That's all officers in the field had to go by, an error that is very rare, according to APD.
I can't remember the last time something like this happened, right? Just a clerical error in our
Whoa. If he was truly speaking the truth from his soul to your soul, my soul, we the people's soul, he would say, I can't remember the last time we got caught with something like this happening. Happened to be body cam. Well, actually happened to be a bystander. That's what probably precipitated this whole thing. A bystander always recording the police. This happens regularly, but they're only caught a tiny, rare amount of time. So that's what he's saying. It's just a clerical error. Sorry about that. But we happen to be one of these rare times we got caught. Pieces of garbage.
Record unit that has since been addressed by the supervisor, and now more of a checks and balances type thing.
Officers on.
Now we have more of a checks and balances type thing. Even the words show he's not taking this seriously. A young mother, a 24-year-old young mother and her 3-year-old child were this close, a 1/8 inch trigger plume from being unalived. More checks and balances kind of thing.
Officers on scene did apologize, and a commander with the department called Castanada a few days after to apologize as well.
That apology is not going to take, the fright away from me. It's not going to do much for me. They already traumatized me. I can't drive down Colfax or any street for that matter.
Just to be clear, Castanada says she's appreciative that the officers apologized. She's appreciative that the department extended their apologies by a phone call after, but she just doesn't think that's enough. So she's now working with attorneys who are currently investigating the matter. And she says she's just happy her 3-year-old was asleep during the time because of what trauma it may have caused her as well. We're reporting live in studio. Brian Wang, Denver 7.
She's happy they gave her an apology. The people who almost took away her life and her 3-year-old child's life. And the thing is, she definitely needs to sue them, of course. But again, the lawsuits, they take the money from the taxpayers. Still, always sue. But here's the thing. Get rid of qualified immunity. Hold each of those officers who, instead of using their own freaking brain, who even question, this is weird. The woman stopped. She's like stopping. Doesn't seem to be a threat, but we're going to come with guns drawn anyway, ready with a little tit, and then she's unalive. Little trigger pull there. Get rid of qualified immunity immediately. This is so wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Next step, for actual police reform, call Senator Schumer. The number's here. Call Senator Tim Scott. This is bipartisan. I am of no political ideology. Actually, my ideology is a unofficial party I created a number of years ago called the Sensibilitarians. If it makes sense, then we utilize that with perspective in our government. But this is bipartisan. And when people say, oh, you can't work with Schumer, you can't work with Tim Scott, anyone else, what are you going to do? What's your answer? We have a political system. That's what we're going to work with. The political system. We want to make sure they are serving us. They are reminded that they are public servants. And step one is call them every single day for the next 3 months, every day, demanding police reform. And they actually have a formula. Every single call from someone in the United States represents X amount of people who also care about that particular issue. We need to make this. We need to make them make this the police reform problem the number one domestic issue of our time and probably the entire history of our country. Call them every single day. Put both of their numbers as contacts in your phone. This is so important. And call every single day demanding police reform. And we will get this done. I'm going to be working with several senators and congressmen directly. Thank you for your support. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video. Please comment and get the word out. Please ask all of your friends to subscribe as well so we can get the truth out to even more people. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. And we, the people, collectively will absolutely create police reform in our country.